Rule of thumb is an idiomatic expression used to describe a practical or general guideline that is not precise or scientifically proven, but is based on practical experience or common sense. The phrase originates from a historical practice where people would use their thumb as an approximate measurement for various purposes, such as estimating distances, sizes, or proportions. The exact origin of the phrase is uncertain, but it is believed to have originated in medieval times. In situations where people did not have access to precise measuring tools, they would use their thumb as a quick and practical reference. For example, they might measure the height of a tree or the length of a rope by using their thumb as a unit of measurement. Over time, the phrase rule of thumb evolved to refer to any general principle or practical advice that is easy to apply and provides a rough estimate or approximation. It is often used when discussing practical solutions, informal methods, or quick assessments that are not meant to be accurate down to the smallest detail but can be helpful in making decisions or solving problems. It is essential to note that while the rule of thumb can be useful, it may not always be suitable for precise or critical situations. In certain contexts, more accurate measurements or scientific methods are required. The rule of thumb is a helpful starting point or a rough guide, but it should be used with caution when accuracy is crucial. In various fields, rule of thumb principles are prevalent. For instance, in cooking, experienced chefs might use the rule of thumb to estimate ingredient proportions or cooking times rather than strictly following a recipe. In construction, builders might use their judgment to approximate measurements or angles when precise tools are unavailable. The phrase is also used to describe common sense approaches or practical wisdom that is widely accepted and applied in everyday life. For example, the rule of thumb measure twice, cut once advises against rushing important tasks to avoid mistakes or waste. However, like any general principle, the rule of thumb may have exceptions or limitations. As society progresses and scientific knowledge advances, practices based solely on tradition or approximation may be challenged or refined. In some cases, the phrase has been criticized for its historical associations with domestic violence. Some suggest that the term may have originated from an outdated English law that allowed men to beat their wives with a stick as long as it was no thicker than their thumb. While there is debate about the accuracy of this claim, it is essential to be aware of such potential connotations when using the phrase. In conclusion, rule of thumb is an idiom referring to a practical or general guideline based on common sense and practical experience rather than precise measurements or scientific evidence. The phrase's origin can be traced back to historical practices where people used their thumbs as rough units of measurement. While it can be a useful tool for quick assessments and practical decision-making, it may not always be suitable for precise or critical situations, and caution should be exercised when accuracy is essential. As society evolves, the application of the rule of thumb should be balanced with the advancement of scientific knowledge and best practices.